In this video, I'm going to be talking about the facade design pattern, which is a structural design pattern. Taking a step back from computer science, the facade of a building is the face of the building. When looking at the facade of a building, you can't see what's going on inside, you can only see what's going on outside. The facade of the building hides away all of the complexities going on inside of that building. Similarly, the facade design pattern hides away the complexities of the system and just provides an interface. This allows the client to interact with this interface without having to understand everything that's going on in your code. You just have to understand how to interact with the interface. The purpose of this design pattern is to help abstract away the complexities of a system through encapsulation. This makes it easier for people to interact with your code without having to understand how exactly your code works. Geeks for Geeks gives a really nice and easy to understand example about hotels that I've adapted for our use. To illustrate this, I made a diagram that is definitely not a cry for help. Consider a hotel with a hotel keeper, Mr. Peanut. Let's say there are a few different restaurants inside that hotel, let's say Arby's, McDonald's, and Taco Bell. If you're a hungry client like I am here and want to access all the different menus that each restaurant inside that hotel has, you don't have to directly interact with each restaurant. You can instead ask Mr. Peanut, who knows all this information. This saves you time as you don't have to navigate all the different layouts or peculiarities of each restaurant. Instead, you just have to work with one single point of contact or interface, here, Mr. Peanut, the hotel keeper, to get all this information. Here, the hotel keeper is the facade of the hotel, and he hides away the complexities within that hotel. We now don't have to understand anything more than Mr. Peanut's interface to get the information we need from all these restaurants. Here is this example in code. If we don't have a facade, we have to interact with the restaurant class directly and ask each restaurant for their menu. This requires us to understand the code behind the restaurant class, which wouldn't be ideal if the restaurant was a complex system. Here's the same example, but this time we added Mr. Peanut, the hotel keeper facade. Now we can just ask Mr. Peanut for all the menus, and he gives them to us. We don't have to understand or even look at the restaurant class's code. To recap, the facade design pattern hides away the complexities of a system by adding a facade or interface that acts as a middleman between the client and the system or systems. This makes it especially useful when dealing with complex systems, as now other people won't have to read and digest your complicated code and can instead just work with the interface.